Well, listen, I know you've been here for a long day, so hopefully you're going to get a lot out of what I'm going to say today. My name is Mark Demetrio, and I don't really have to go into my background now because Andrew did such a great job of it. Good job, Andrew. So listen, I want to touch on a couple things today. I'm here for about 10 minutes, and obviously, like Jen said, who often speaks, this is really a short period of time, and we usually speak for an hour or longer. So I'm going to touch on some very specific items to really talk about how to bring you more business. That's what you're here for. How can you bring in more business, better quality of life, enjoy your life, and really do what you love to do, but make more money and work less, right? So let me start with some of the parts. And my book is back there too. If you know, it was a passion and a blessing to have the opportunity to write this book, to give my mentor back to the world. What made him successful, what's made me successful. So that's why I wrote it. A lot of work and effort, but that's the reason why I want to give back to people. So just touching on something from the book. So, you know, I want to start with something that is very specific. Attitude is everything, right? So I want to talk about some core basics of who we are as an individual for a few minutes, and then go into actual specific information to help you bring in business. So attitude is everything, you know. So, you know, you think about your attitude. Are you positive? Are you magnetic? When you walk in a room, you know, do people look at you as like, wow, that's a great guy or gal, or, you know, you need to do business with that person? Or when you walk in 30 seconds, do they know they can trust you? Or are you genuine? You can't fake this, you know. So if you are blessed to have that, then you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, you need to think about the positive nature of who you are. Are you there to bring value to people? Are you a resource to people? Or are you just trying to have your hands out to get business? So when you really change your mind and think about that I'm an individual as a resource to bring value to somebody, either to better their lives or to better their clients' lives, and how can I help them, I can tell you it will change your life. You know, and the attitude is everything part talks about how you get up in the morning and you start your day. Are you worried about being fit, fueling your brain, fueling your body, eating good food, hanging out with good people? You know, you want to be a millionaire, but you're not watching, you know, reality shows and you're, you know, golfing 4 times a week. You got to decide, and that leads into my next point or tagline, success is a choice. Success is a choice. You know, you make choices every day of your life. What you do, who you hang out with, how you spend your time. Are you fueling your brain? How are you bettering yourself? Are you learning? Are you growing? This is powerful stuff, and I have actually chapters on this kind of stuff as well because I'm passionate about it, and this is the core of who you are. You know, we all want to be successful, but why are the top 1% the most successful people? Because and you look at these success traits, and I've read and studied a lot of successful people, and the success traits are unbelievably similar to these successful people, and I won't bore you with it now. You can pick up a million books that talk about it. So just the essence of who you are as an individual, you know, I like to say when I speak, you go home tonight in some quiet time and look yourself in the mirror and really say to yourself, am I where I want to be in life? Am I doing what I want to do in life? Am I at the level of income? Am I with the right spouse? You know, am I hanging with the right people? Why aren't I farther along in life? This is all very important stuff. And when you really dig down deep to decide, all right, you know what? I'm going to make some changes today, tomorrow. I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock. I'm going to start feeling better, eat good, work out, fuel my brain. So I can go on that stuff for an hour by itself. But I want you to think about this really deep because you want to be successful or you want to enjoy life. And enjoying life and being joyful is more important in life than anything. So take that to heart. My grandfather was a wonderful, wonderful dear man, very, very dear friend of mine and grandfather and mentor. And he lived, and the quick story is he came here to Ellis Island at 20 years old with nothing in his pocket, 3 weeks after the stock market crash, actually, and lived right through the Depression, lived in an apartment with 6 other guys, shining shoes during the day, slept on a bed 1 night a week, worked his way up to busboy. You know, he was in the hospitality industry, so ended up managing the West Side Tennis Club in Flushing, Queens, his last 20 years of his life, where the U.S. Opens were, wearing a tux every day. He was friends with Frank Sinatra, knew John F. Kennedy, and he actually made so much money on tips because he knew everybody that walked in, knew what they liked to drink, where they liked to sit. He made so much money on tips that he actually didn't spend money on his salary for the last 5 years of his life. Never spent a salary ever. So you talk about, right, that is with applause for that guy. Applause for him, because let me tell you, when you think about, and he left home at 16 years old, poor as hell from Cyprus, an island as a country, and said to his parents, I want to be something in life. I don't want to be poor. I'm going to go make something and be something, make something of myself and be somebody. And he never stopped sending money back to his family all his life. And, you know, you think about the dramatic nature of that just because he wanted to get ahead, the driving force. So I'll leave you with that. So just think about the magnitude of what I'm saying and try to be magnetic and be memorable to people. And you believe me, you will go far. So talk about business. And this is a very specific, and you should write this down because it's simple, but think about this and write it down. One of the things you do when you train salespeople, and I've trained dozens and dozens of them over the years, you tell them, you know, make your list of 100 people you know. You know, it's financial planners, insurance agents, you know, mortgage professionals, realtors. Make a list of 100 people you know and come back to me. Okay. But I do it differently. I do it make a list, and I don't care how long it is, make a list of everybody you know that cares about you, that knows you pretty well. That could be, the dry cleaner, the diner, the person who cut your hair, everyone in your family, of course, and all your friends. Make that list. When you make the list now, here's what I want you to do. You're going to call every one of those people, and you're going to say to them, for example, Aunt Jane, you're going to be mining for financial planners, accountants, attorneys, and realtors. Mining for them. Watch how easy this is, and no one really does it. I spoke at the mastermind, not to talk about that here, but hundreds and thousands of people in the room. 2 people raised their hands that do this. So I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to change your lives and your career. You basically tell your aunt, right, here's what I want you to do. Well, first you ask, do you know any of these 4 people? And she says, yeah, of course. Well, my accountant and my attorney, and I have a financial planner, and of course I have a realtor. I bought our house with the realtor. Great. Here's what I'd like you to do. I'm going to send you my bio, if you have a bio, or just whatever your accolades are, whatever they are. Even if you're starting fresh out of school, who cares? Something to say who you are as a resource. I want you to call these people and ask them if they would take my call, but do it in an email. And here's how you do it. Joe might say, hey, Joe, listen, and CC, by the way, get CC'd on the email, by the way. So she's going to do this. Joe, my CPA for many years, listen, I want you to do me a favor. My nephew, who's a great guy, really hardworking, he's in the mortgage business. I would really appreciate if you take his call and take a meeting with him. I'm CCing him on it. You guys could take it from here, but I assure you you're in good hands. She does that with every one of those people she knows. I guarantee you they take your meeting, and then it's up to you. And I'll tell you right now that I built my business. I closed as much as $75 million in business, my best years, which is pretty good. Not as good as some of these big guys out here, which I'll get to those points. I'm working on it. But I will tell you, when you meet with these people, it's really up to you about how you can be a resource. And when you meet with these people, it's not about, can you send me business? You walk into these people who are all advisors, by the way. I use the word advisors, all 4 of them. They're all advisors. And when you meet with them, it's all about them. So tell me about your business, your family, how you're doing here. How can I help you? How can I help you? I mean, I'm here today. My aunt was very nice to have me here, but how can I help you? Now, depending where you are in your lives and your careers, like I have a tremendous network of people that I've built over the years. If you're starting out, you may not have the network, but maybe you can still help them. It's very possible. It doesn't matter about your network. How can I help you? Great. Listen, well, why I'm here today is, as you know, I'm in the mortgage business, but I would love to be a resource to you. I've studied the industry very well. I know the business well. I'm an expert in the business. I've trained myself. If you're in the business for a month or a year, you can learn it very quickly. So I would love to be a resource to you to help your clients and yourself when you have questions. How would you feel about that? Do you have other people like that right now you're using? And a lot of people usually don't. A lot of realtors have their mortgage person, but all these advisors, they don't. So I have been working for years, 13 years now, with the advisors, attorneys, accountants, financial planners, and some realtors. That's my strategy. And I can tell you right now that most of them don't have that person they can rely on. They just refer them to a bank or don't refer them at all. And they give one name. They give my name. They don't give 3 names like the realtors have to or are supposed to do, or supposed to or are told to, so they give one name. So if you build your model and you build it to where there's dozens of people referring your business, you will see how explosive your business will be. So if you start tomorrow with this, you'll see your 19 explode. I assure you that. So does anyone do this kind of stuff, specifically at this level? Anyone here? Is this valuable information? Right? Awesome. Okay, thank you. So that's one point. The second point is this. And I probably have like 4 minutes left at this point, which is crazy. 4 minutes? Right? Okay. So you think about the business that you have right now. We're all worried about chasing the next deal or next family to close or next people to help. And some of the guys talked about this today. The service you provide to the people that come in from the time they call you with your response time, text, email, phone response time, and answer the questions to the time they close that deal, you have the opportunity to sell that client for the future of your business and be a referral source. And every closed loan statistically is good for 5 to 7 referrals, including them over the life of knowing that person. That's powerful. Very powerful. Now take that into mind for a second. 5 to 7 over the lifetime. So if you kill them with service, you gave them a great rate and fee, that's the easy part. People ask about your rate fees, I said that's the easy part. We'll get to that, that's the easy part. Let me understand what you're looking to do. Let me help you with your situation. How long will you be in the house? You need an arm or a fix? What are you looking to do? So the strategy, the value added, the digging deeper, asking questions that most loan officers won't ask. What are you looking to do? Well, I just got divorced. I want to put down 50%. I don't want a big payment. Okay, man, we'll do that for you. No, how about, You don't need to put down 50%. Why would you use all your money? You need a reserve. You got your kids. You got to worry about the future. You could put down 30% because you know what? It's a $250 difference between the money you want to put down. Keep the money in the bank. Oh, that's great. You know, no one told me that. You think about bringing value every day of your life to these people, then you're not just a mortgage person. You're an advisor. I'm an advisor. I'm considered a private banker. I'm an advisor to my clients, and that's how I work. So I went on a tangent for a second, but I want to explain to you. So when you're dealing with your clients, it's the value added, it's the service you provide to the end. I close loans, and the people when I close them, some, if they've had a magnificent experience and changed their lives because they couldn't get a loan somewhere else, will cry. Other times they're just so grateful. And then not only that, the referral source that sent them, when you talk to your client, say, listen, I couldn't be at the closing, sorry. I don't go to a lot of closings, which is a shame on me. I should go to more, but at least I call them. And they say, you know, I'm going to definitely talk to the person that referred me and thank them immensely for referring me to you to help me get my mortgage through you. So you think about the magnitude of that, the referral source is happy, and then they go on from there. So all I can tell you is the model that you have in place, your operations you have in place, and your service delivery system, it's got to be spot on. And your clients need to know that you handle their service, handle their mortgage to the best of your ability. And then business comes in. And don't be afraid to ask for business, and I'm going to leave with this in a second. So I have found that the best time to ask for business, not at the close, because they kind of want to be done with you at the close. I do always call my clients if I don't attend a closing and thank them. And I send them, by the way, it's another thing, I send them a link to my Zillow page. So I call them first. Thank you very much for utilizing my services. You know, I wasn't at the closing last night. Did everything go okay? Everything was great, good. Listen, thank you again so much. I really appreciate you allowing me to provide you with this transaction, one of the largest of your life, which I appreciate. Do me a favor, I'm going to email you a link. I'll thank you again, but I'll email you a link to my Zillow account. For social media purposes, if you could put a couple words in there, it really mean a lot to me. And usually 7 out of 10 do it. Sometimes I follow up for the other ones. When I get that Zillow testimonial, it comes in saying, you have a Zillow review. I look at it. I immediately email that to the referral source. Thank you again for referring Jack to me. Here's what he had to say. Just again, powerful. Now you close that loop up. So when you think about your business and what you're doing, we're all worried about bringing in the business. You got to have the operational staff in place, but it's how you provide the service and what you do. And I wanted to end with this, which I mentioned that I would. When the loan is approved, when I know it's approved, I purposely call before the approval sent to them, before the mortgage commitment sent to them, because I don't want to go over the commitment with them. I don't want to go over the conditions with them. As soon as I know it's approved, wherever I am, my staff texts me if I'm not in the office. I call the client, listen, congratulations, your approval just came in. I want to let you know it's in place. Give me a call when you get a second, in case I don't get them live. They call up, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm so happy, this is great, right on time, we're good to go. So listen, again, thank you for allowing me to provide you to this point. You know, we got a couple weeks to go and you're in your house. Can I ask you a favor? Yeah, sure, anything. You know, you're happy now, it's great, and we provide the service for you. Can you think of anyone else you know that's either going through a divorce, unfortunately, or getting married, or moving, or buying a second home? See, I don't ask for a mortgage. You don't know anyone else looking for a mortgage? Too broad, specific. Anyone getting married, anyone having kids recently, anyone getting a second home, or unfortunately downsizing, and you trigger the brain. Oh, you know, yeah, you know what? This is where you trigger the brain. This is the time you ask. I promise you leads come in. So I want to close with that short point. I can go on and on with this, but this has been a great event to even be at. Mark, thank you for even having me speak today. Can I take any questions real quick? Yeah, any questions at all about anything? This was just the tip, just the tip. Yeah, any questions at all? Specific questions, general questions?
Is it just Zillow reviews, or do you promote? What's in your marketplace? Is it Yelp and a Shoshank? Is it Yelp, the Bay Area?
Well, it depends. Right now, so right now it's building up to get 100 testimonials on Zillow. So I'm working on that right now. So I've been pushing Zillow. I have I think 90 right now. So, but there is Yelp also, and there's Google, and we use Social Survey. So they also get, so we use Social Survey, which is a great service. So they get the Social Survey, which is the general questions. They answer questions, how it was, which we have that too. So then I have Zillow myself. So we're doing 2 different ones. Once I have Zillow 100, I'll probably focus on Yelp and then Google. Yeah.
How many times do you have to ask them to get that referral?
So because...
the review.
Because I'm calling them, right? Because I'm calling them to thank them and say, you can expect this email from me. And I send it the second I'm off the phone, by the way. You're going to get an email from me, in fact, right in this next second. Do me a favor, please, when you get a second, it'll take you like 4 minutes to just log in and actually do a testimonial for me. I'd really appreciate it. If they don't do it, I'll email them again in the week. Listen, just following up. I know you're probably really busy. Just it would really mean a lot to me. And I'll follow up again after that. Just one more time. That's it.
Tell me about your team again. How many people on your team?
Yeah, so I have a junior processor who really handles the application process, collecting all the paperwork, and then a full processor. And I have what's called a taskmaster. This is a very important hire, by the way. This taskmaster now, handles stuff that we really shouldn't have to worry about per se, but I make sure the service is handled over and beyond. She worries about, was the title ordered on time? Was the survey ordered on time? Homeowners insurance, inspection, CO, the closing, making sure that we go over the CDs with the clients before they close. So all that taskmaster stuff to make sure it's handled properly so that the clients have communication, so nothing falls through the cracks, prevents anything in the whole process from falling apart. That's important. That's why we do it.